Okay, let's look at the next sutta. Next sutta is a bit slightly deeper. Sabba Karma Jaha Sutta. Sabba means all, Karma means of course karma, action, Jaha means giving up. Discourse Sutta. Okay, this is a short sutta, but with lots of deep teachings. Let's go straight to the sutta, hardly half a page. Page 54. Okay, now it's interesting here. One of the suttas from the Udana, U 3.1. Udana. Udana, very short teachings. The Buddha sits among and then gives a teaching. 54. 54. 5-4. You can see the Pali title right at the top. U 3.1. That means chapter 3, sutta number 1/21, page 21. Sabba Karma Jaha Sutta. The discourse on giving up all karma. Thus have I heard, at one time the Blessed One was staying in Anathapindika's park in Jeta's Grove near Savatthi. At that time, not far from the Blessed One, a certain monk was sitting, folding his legs crosswise, keeping his body upright, mindfully and fully aware, enduring without complaining or rather ungrieving, a feeling that was strong, harsh and sharp, or disagreeable feeling, arising from the fruition of past karma. Right? So here is this monk meditating, and the Buddha sitting nearby. So the Buddha is pointing out to this monk as an object lesson. So the Buddha knows, he's reading his mind, this mind is struggling with this pain that has come. And this pain is a result of past karma. And yet this monk doesn't show any flinching, no complaint, he goes on meditating just like that. 7. The Blessed One saw that monk from afar, sitting with his legs crossed, keeping his body upright, mindful and fully aware, enduring without complaining the feeling that was strong, harsh and sharp, arising from the fruition of past karma. Then the Blessed One, knowing the significance on the occasion, uttered this Udana, or inspired saying, Sabba Karma Jahassa Bhikkhuno Duna Manasa Pure Katan Rajam Amamasa Titasa Tadino Atto Nati Janam Lape Tawe Ti. For the monk who has abandoned all karma, who is shaking off the dust of past deeds, for such a one is he steadfast in the not mind. There is no need to talk with people. Okay, this is one of those verses. You might say these are meditation verses. They are not ordinary verses. There is a kind of almost like a code in it. Only if you do regular meditation and study the suttas, when you see this verse, you say, okay, that there's something beautiful in this. Of course, you can simplify this and talk about daily life. This is what we're going to do. For a monk who has abandoned all karma, so we're talking about Arahat here. This Arahat has removed the roots of karma. He's not going to create any new karma. What does this mean? It means no greed, no hate, no delusion. Those roots are gone. But I suspect, in this case, my understanding is that an Arahat still may have certain opinions. He may tell you, So let's suppose you're doing something bad, you ask him, if you don't ask, he won't tell you. He probably will say, this is not right? For example, killing, obviously the Arahat will say, this is not right. Don't tell me the Arahat is going to be like a wall, no feeling, nothing to tell you, right? The Arahat is sure to say, don't kill. After all, the Buddha is telling us all these things, right? Don't do bad stuff. Obviously, the Buddha has his views in this case. But these views are not the kind we normally understand. They are not rooted in greed, hate, delusion. They have no karmic effect. And the Buddha also feels the heat because of his physical body. He gets headaches. His body suffers, but not the mind. So these are things we need to know about the awakened person. So as we study the sutras, the more we begin to understand the nature of the awakened mind. They are very much like you and I, but again, on deeper examination, very different from you and I. In other words, externally you can't distinguish whether a person is awakened or not. Only by association, you begin to see something different in this person. We could be wrong because we are ourselves not awakened yet, but we know there's something really good in this. In the Buddha, if you meet him, in the Arahat, if you meet one. Okay? Next line, who is shaking off the dust of past deeds. So here you see this man is meditating. I think it's the moment of his awakening also. So he's shaking off, removing all past karma. Okay? Through his meditation, by letting go of what we call attachment, seeing reality in front of him. It's just like, notice when you're meditating, when you're at peace with yourself. When you're at peace, there are moments, there are no thoughts at all, remember? You don't notice, first of all, you don't notice any feeling in your body. Your 5 senses, none of them trouble you. You're not distracted. Next thing also, you may notice there are moments when there are no thoughts in your mind. There's just peace. Do you notice that in your meditation, maybe for short moments? Yeah?
Yeah, this is past deeds.
The dust of past deeds. Look at the word dust. No, look at the word. The dust of past deeds. Here is poetry. The dust means a result, painful result of past deeds. See, because he's sitting meditating, the pain he's feeling is the working of past karma. Past karma. For example, the past karma, maybe he fell down somewhere and his legs got hurt. So when he's sitting down meditating, that part of the leg hurts, for example. Alright? Or maybe he hurt somebody in the leg long ago. So this karma comes back. Like, there are many possibilities. So this is the dust of past karma. Okay? In other words, here he is suffering this pain coming to him, but he's not troubled by it.
In other words, fruition of past
Correct,
deeds.
yes, correct.
And letting go, essentially meaning the rising, in other words, fruition of past deeds, suffering
Yes.
the fruition of past deeds.
And he's not affected by it. Yeah. In other words, he looks at it as rise and fall, impermanence. He's not troubled by it. And that's what we are taught to do in our meditation, not to be distracted by such pain, for example. Yeah? So, third line, for such a one. You see this word such a one, in Pali is one word, tadino. Tadino. Such a one. The Buddha is such a one. Such. Such means reality. Such is a simple word for nirvana. This person has attained nirvana. He is such. The Buddha is such. In other words, you can't really talk much about him. His mind is peaceful. He is nirvana. It's a term specially used to describe the awakened mind. Steadfast. In other words, you can't distract him. You can't shake him from his mindfulness. Steadfast in a not mind. So his mind is stable and strong, not owning anything. He doesn't use I, me, mine. So therefore pain doesn't trouble. Okay? Pain arises because we start using the idea of mine, I, me, mine. There is no need to talk with people. He's happy with himself. Okay? Now this last line is about the Arahat. The Arahat is quite happy by himself. He doesn't need approval from anyone. He doesn't need to give talks to gain popularity. He's happy with himself. We go to him to get teachings, yes. We look at Arahats to feel peace, yes. But the Arahat doesn't need us. He's quite happy by himself. He is emotionally independent in that sense. So this is a kind of like a celebration of the awakened mind. This Arahat happily meditating all by himself, very peaceful, an island of still joy. Okay? So this is quite short. And there are lots of details here you can read if you want. For example, on page 52, how an arahat deals with feelings, right? So, from this kind of sutta, see on page 52, we know that thoughts do come to arahats, but they easily deal with it. It's not difficult, really. If doctors can deal with their own feelings, why not arahats? You know, doctors have to heal the human body, so they have to look at the human body. So they look at the human body so often. If they are truly professional, they have no attraction as say a young teenager would have to the human body, right? So they will just look at it and then they will study, okay, what's wrong with this body, why is this person sick, they will heal the body. So the arahat similarly is not attracted to things which to us are attractive. Okay? But in other words, these arahats, they can deal with all those thoughts as they arise in different ways. For example, they can see something as agreeable or disagreeable and make use of reflection on foulness, or reflect as impermanent, or reflect with loving kindness, or as the elements, and so on. Or simply with equanimity. So the arahat has many choices of meditation. So it's always calm by himself, basically. I mean, even you yourself now, you find if you're faced with difficulties, you can easily tell yourself, okay, let me take this problem one thing at a time, or let me let go of it. You can easily tell yourself what to do, right? Even we are capable of that, so the arahat will take a few steps ahead. He's even more capable of dealing with negative emotions when they do arise. But these emotions don't arise because of their karma. It's just what's called functional karma. For example, they see people quarreling and they say, oh, this is rather sad, rather bad, why are they quarreling? So, but he's very calm, doesn't get excited about it. And some people, when not awakened, you find people quarreling, they also want to join in. First they decide which side to join, and start fighting. So it's not very wise. Okay. Any other questions?
This actually tells us that our karma, past karma also can resolve the meditation.
Yes.
So but we cannot relate to what karma is.
Yeah, we won't know unless we go into very deep, some wisdom arise, some insight arise, and we look back and say, oh yeah, maybe I've done something. Important thing is not to rationalize too much. Because in meditation, you just deal with the pain when they arise. Whether it's due to past karma or present conditions, we deal with it. You can decide whether past karma or present condition during the review period. But when you're meditating, you should not wonder, understand, you will be distracted.
When we review, we don't say dispute on past karma because
yeah, you don't have to say that. Yeah, maybe your teacher might tell you that.
how we deal with pain.
Yes, you just deal with it. To say that it is a result of past karma, if it helps us not to think more than that, then it's useful. We do not want to go so much into it until we can't meditate. Then we give up and say, oh, I can't meditate, my past karma is so bad. And then you resign yourselves. That's not very good. Right?
So we should, while experience the pain, we just keep
Watch it. Yeah. In the case of this meditating arahat or arahat to be, he watches the rise and fall of the pain, permanence of it. Yeah. So it's the Buddha describing to us, to the monks, who say, well, this monk, his pain is very great, coming from the past. And that's why he's feeling the pain. So he's just explaining in detail to us.
So in the process, we can adjust the
Yeah.
pain.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes. So mentally, we can also use other methods, especially reflecting on rise and fall, permanence. Okay.
So, yeah, I really don't understand this because I'm not sure whether this course is for meditation or this is what is entitled on abandoning all karma.
Yeah.
So, I'm still struggling with how does one abandon
Okay, number one,
karma?
this
It's not to
person,
do with meditation.
this person is an arahat. Probably the Buddha is describing this man is meditating and is becoming an arahat. So an arahat is the only person, besides the Buddha, that is, who abandons all karma. If you're not an arahat, you cannot abandon your karma altogether, but you can definitely direct the karma in a good direction by preventing negative karma from ripening. So our task as normal human beings, like you and I, is to prevent negative karma, where greed, hate, delusion takes over. Do not act rooted in greed, hate, or delusion.
Yes, I understand that the karma is also positive and negative. So
True.
is it abandon all karma? Is this, in this context, does it mean abandon all negative karma? Because we say
Both.
positive.
Both, yeah, this is a very interesting question. You see, sometimes the arahat is said to be punya, papa, pahina. Punya is good, papa is bad, pahina, given up. He has given up both good and bad. In other words, he doesn't do bad, he doesn't need good. You see, because he's already awakened. He doesn't need good karma anymore. Because good karma will bring you good rebirth. And as long as you are reborn, you are in the game. You are likely to do bad deeds too, and you're going to get caught in this way of life. So in the arahat, he does not create any more karma, good or bad. His actions are natural. Okay? It's just like when a doctor heals us, he looks at you, he will tell you what's wrong. So we wouldn't say it's good or bad, we just say it's professional, and we say this is my professional opinion, because whatever it tells you may or may not work. Whatever medicine it gives you may cause you other kinds of pain, sleepiness, discomfort, So that's not exactly good, So, of course, it's not a very good example in the case of the doctor, because we're talking about the arahat, you see. When in the case of the arahat, he does not play the good-bad game. Because good-bad, you are caught in samsara also. Yeah. So that's the meaning of giving up all karma. Whereas for us, we're on the way. So we start by removing the bad parts first. That is moral training. Moral training, precepts, get rid of the bad parts first. Then mental training, we cultivate the good parts. Both of these work together bring wisdom. And this is where you get the famous Dhammapada verse which says, Sampa papasa akarana, not doing any bad stuff, any bad deeds. And then kusala supan upasampada, promoting the good. That means doing a meditation or cultivating positive emotions. Sachitta parayodapana, purifying the mind. This is the teaching of all the Buddhas, Etang, Udana, Sasana. Okay? Clear enough?
Let's say this sutta is more on our reaction to pain.
Yes.
So when we feel pain, we don't get angry, we don't,
Yes.
we don't arise the bad karma.
Yeah, correct.
This is more.
Yeah. You can say don't blame anyone, don't blame anything. One possible explanation is past karma, especially when you have got all the perfect seat, cushion, very comfortable, air just right, quiet place, but still his pain still come, For example, Bhikkhu Bodhi's headache, and his famous headache. He went to all kinds of doctors, especially in different parts of the world. Nobody knows what is the problem. So he has to struggle with it. So now he himself calls it karmic headache. So these are things that I have to explain. Or you can say medical science is not yet so advanced to be able to detect this problem yet. Not now, you see. So sometimes something you can explain could be explained to karma, especially pain, any kind of pain for the mental person. Okay? Again, here we say, although my body is in pain, my mind will not be in pain. That's another teaching. Right? In other words, the teaching here tells us, although your body is in pain, your mind should not be in pain. Although the body is sick, the mind should not be sick. So in other words, the mind is capable of greater strength. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah, you also say that if he feels very comfortable, he's also not attached to it.
Yeah.
Because he rises beyond the
Yes,
reality.
exactly. Because if you're not attached to your body, then you won't be troubled by this kind of passing phenomenon. Alright? I mean, Many of us, when we meditate, you find pain does come, and then some of the pain are not really long-lasting. They come, they go. Right? Even cramps. Sometimes we meditate, we get cramps. Then we just we let it go for a while, and then the pain goes away. Then we continue with our meditation. You can use the pain as the object of meditation also, if you want to meditate on feeling as impermanent. Any other remarks or questions? So I hope these two suttas are helpful to you, bring some wisdom and teach you some new angles in your practice. Yeah? Next lesson, we're going to look at quite a long sutta, very interesting. Something like the first scientist in the world. This king did all kind of experiment to find out the nature of consciousness, karma, and so on. Any questions? In time?
Which one would that be?
Chapter 4. Payasi Sutta, Diga number 23. All these Diga suttas are very long, very imaginative. It can be very funny. Yeah, correct. He does some really weird experiments to find out whether consciousness exists or not. He puts someone in a jar and then seals the jar and then opens a little bit, see any consciousness coming out or not, things like that. This is after the Buddha's time. I think the other person is Mahakachana. He's kind of debating with the king. Let us do a short reflection. But today we have looked at two short suttas on karma to remind us of the nature of karma. It is more something that is rooted in our intentions. And there are many possibilities for the karma to express itself. The important thing for us is to create the right conditions so that good karma will ripen. Reflecting in this way is good karma, by the power of such good karma, may in this life itself we be blessed with calmness and wisdom. And above all, through all the good actions we have done, by the power of our faith in the three jewels and so on, may we attain spiritual liberation, especially stream winning in this life itself. In this moment of peace, let us send out our loving kindness to all the beings, to all the people in this area, this temple, and the areas nearby. And also wish everyone here who are working here, running this place, good health, wisdom, strength, and happiness. And to all our loved ones, may they be well and happy too. And to those who have not touched the Dharma, may the Dharma touch them and they be well and happy in due course. May all beings be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.